Here are a couple steps we use to help make your exercise technique better. We found that if we skip these 2 steps, it doesn't matter how much verbal coaching that we use, cueing in other words, you just can't get the movement right. And what we found is if we do the steps, then we don't need a lot of verbal coaching. So the first one that we would have is we'd bring you in for a movement screen with your strategy session, or if you've come as part of Buddy Week, we just mix it into your warm-up. So we take you through some basic movements, and that helps us determine which movements you're good at, which ones you struggle that we need to modify, and which ones that we might have to eliminate altogether. So an example here is if I use the push-up, and it looks like this, there's no amount of coaching that I can use to tell you to keep your back straight. You're just not going to get it. You don't have the coordination, or maybe it's the strength in your upper arms. So we're going to modify you to a hands elevated push-up where you're on an angle off a bar or a bench, and that'll help clean up that movement. Another way that we can help you get your technique down is with constraints. So a constraint is just using something from the environment that's going to help put you in the right position. So if we were to if your split squat looked like this each time, your heel is coming up, you couldn't stay upright, what we could do is we could give you some band assistance overhead, and we might even block your knee with our clipboard or a hand, and that suddenly puts you in an upright position. Another one that we might use is a wedge, which we use almost for everybody to help them squat better. So allows you to sink down deep, lots of movement through your knees, versus you might otherwise move more from your hips. Then once we get all those out of the way, that's when our cueing comes in, our verbal coaching. And again, instead if we get the other steps taken care of, we don't need to do a lot of those. But what we find that is if we're doing a lot of cueing, then we've probably made a mistake in the first 2 steps, and we just need to switch up your exercise.